Hello and welcome to another edition of ChadWSmith.com. I'm your host, Chad W. Smith, and I've got something to say. Today I would like to show you how to add or replace a keyboard on a MacBook. This is the keyboard. As you can see, it's pretty much the whole top of the MacBook. Here's the MacBook right here that I will be replacing. This is my old MacBook, the one that made me famous on YouTube with over 25,000 views. The shift key, if you can see here, is screwed up and has been for a while. This is why I went ahead and bought the new one, which is what I am recording this on. But I will be repairing this and getting it into like new condition and then selling it to perhaps one of you lucky viewers on eBay. I will be selling this soon, but I wanted to show you the process of changing the thing. Now, first thing you want to do is you want to take out the battery. Now, I've already done that. Here's the battery. Pretty easy. You take your thumbnail or a coin and you just stick it in the slot and you go from the lock position to the unlocked position, which is already is, of course, and then it pops right out. Then there is a L clamp that, or whatever this is called, and you take it out. There are 3 screws that stay in there, which is very nice. It makes it very easy. There are going to be a lot of screws, but you take those screws out. Now, I use an eyeglass screwdriver, Phillips head. Probably the best thing you can do if you have some sort of special tool for it. Now, this is also, if you just wanted to replace the RAM, you would go to this step, and then RAM pops out. And you make sure the slot is on the right, the left side, the correct side, which is the left side. And I got a nice little diagram in there for you, so in case you forget which way it goes in, just look at the diagram. And you got to push it in there until it makes sure it connects. But there's a little lever that pops it out. It's also where you change the hard drive, and there's a little tab there. It's tucked underneath it. You pull on it, and there you go. And you would unscrew it from the sides here, put your new hard drive in there, screw it back in, tuck it back under there, put it back in this little thing, and there you go. Now you've replaced the hard drive and you just need to put it back. The next step you need to do, though, if you're going to replace the keyboard, is start taking out all the screws. Now, the way you do this, the order in which you do this, is not so much important. You just need to keep track of where the screws go, because there's a lot of screws, a lot of different sizes of screws, and the only way you will know how to do it, know which screw goes where, is if you keep track of them. A friend of mine named Roger, he's on YouTube as well, Roger's Vids is his username. He gave me the idea of using a ice tray. So I would just start here and go up until I get to where I need to go and then go back. There is a guide, and I will post the link over to the side, one side or the other, whichever side it's on, to ifixit.com, which will go through this step by step. I'm going to just go through and take some of these screws out. Now, the first ones that I'm going to take out are the 3 on the underside. Now, you're going to want to make sure that you are not electrically charged. Don't do this as you're standing on a carpet wearing tennis shoes that you've been charging up like you're going to go shock somebody. Static is a bad thing to computers, so you're going to want to ground yourself several times. If you have one of those wristband things, you can go ahead and use those. I've never used one. I just touched something metal and I've been fine so far, but use whatever precautions you feel necessary to make sure you don't fry the insides of your computer. This is not wanting to come out really well. But you just know how to do the screws, and Like I said, I'll post the links over to the side so you'll be able to see them all. But I will, through the magic of time-lapse photography, I will skip ahead. So see you in a second. Okay, I wanted to show you, I've removed all the screws now. This one will not come out for some reason. I did the last time I did this. I did do a test run before I actually set about doing this and recording it. But I just wanted to show you that removing the board itself after all the screws are out, there is a special tool that I got. It's called a spludger. The way you do it is you go through and you just pop it out. And you want to start, okay, closest to the screen, and just kind of lift it up. So lift it up and go all the way around. Lift it up. Okay, I'm not sure if you're seeing this. So kind of wedged it under there. You're going to want to lift up. Make sure you do it on both sides so you're not breaking it. But you get it disconnected, and then you can just kind of lift it off. Are you seeing this? Right. Now, once you get it lifted off, then you might need to pry it some more, as apparently I do. Once you get it lifted off, okay, again you'll notice that the whole top of the computer, power cord or power button, keyboard, and trackpad is all one piece, and it's connected. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this, but it is connected just by one little cord in there. You see that? No, you don't see that at all, but there you go. Okay, so it's that one orange cord. Now the newer models are going to have a silver cord. You're going to want to use your spludger. Okay, come under here. Don't lift it up too much because it is, so it is connected. And you're just going to pop that off. It's just that little connection, you're just going to pop it off. Now the reason you use the spludger, you could reach in there with your hands, but you're likely to bump something and you might not be grounded. So here's the old keyboard with the busted key, so that's taken off. Now, while we've got this open, though, I do want to show you a few things. This is where the RAM would be if I hadn't taken it out already. This is where the hard drive would be, again, if I hadn't taken it out already. This is the fan that I believe is covering the processor. This is the combo drive on mine. It could be a super drive on yours if you've got the better model. And so it's all right here. So if you did need to change the RAM and the keyboard, now would be a good time. I'm not going to answer the phone. We're going to test and see, live on TV right here, well, recorded, if I actually did everything right. Press the button, I'm hearing movement, I hear the tone. Light comes on, everything's good. And there you have it. My old MacBook. The one you've been waiting for. And it can be yours for whatever price it sells on eBay. I will be selling it on eBay. I haven't set up the account yet, but look to my right or left, whichever side it ends up being on, for the link to my eBay auction. And this will be the original Chad W. Smith MacBook, the very first MacBook I've ever owned, the very first new computer I ever owned, and also the one that was made famous on YouTube, over 25,000 views, and works great. Nothing wrong with it now that I changed the keyboard, and I'll even throw in the old keyboard if you want it. So stay tuned for that. I'll have more videos explaining what I did, but for now, just know this is how you fix a keyboard on the Macintosh, a MacBook, if you want to, and there it goes straight into my desktop. No more safe mode, so good stuff. A couple of thoughts before I go. Number one, during this process you can, as I did, take out the RAM and hard drive if you wish. You don't have to do that, it's not a requirement, but it could add another layer of safety. Number two, using the ice tray is a good idea to put your screws in there so you keep them organized, don't lose them, and also know what order to use them in, because they're all really tiny screws and they end up looking alike. That's a good idea. Leaving that ice tray on the floor where you could step on it and dump the screws everywhere, not so much a good idea. So be careful with that. That actually did happen to me as I was doing this. Also, be sure to put everything back in. I left out the L bracket when I was almost done, about to put the battery back in, and for some reason the battery wouldn't go back in, but it was because I was missing the L bracket, and I figured that out, put it in, no problem. The whole process took me less than 45 minutes. That is with the screwing up of the screws and stopping to add commentary. I've edited out some commentary and kind of consolidated it all here, just because it was bad camera angles and stuff. But just know that the process will take you anywhere from a half hour to an hour, depending upon how quickly you do this and how methodical you are and patient and stuff. Losing the screws can drive you crazy. I mean, they're very, very tiny, so be very careful. Do this someplace away from kids, away from pets, away from anything that, hardwood floor is better than carpet, because these things could get lost in not even deep shag, just normal carpet. So just be careful. Other than that, just take your time and follow the instructions. Again, I'll have them posted, and you can be replacing your MacBook keyboard yourself and save $400. That was the whole reason that I did it, because Apple wanted $400 to replace it, and I got the keyboard off of eBay for $65, shipping included. They sell from anywhere from $65 to $150. There are other websites that sell them too for $150 to $200. You could even use a black keyboard on your white MacBook, or a white keyboard on your black MacBook if you just want to be different. I chose not to do that. Plus, this was the cheapest one I could find, so I did that. So, $65 and less than an hour of my time, I ended up saving $350, give or take. So, there you go. And of course, if you have AppleCare, this would void AppleCare. So send it in to them to have them replace the keyboard. It will be free since you have paid for AppleCare. But otherwise, go for it. Thanks again, and thanks to Roger of Roger's Vids on YouTube for his advice, and to iFixit.com for their walkthrough, and from the guy that I bought the keyboard from off of eBay. Thank you very much, and have a great day. Bye.